Breaking news tonight. Exclusive video showing President Trump with some of the key players in his son's Russia meeting controversy as the president denies any knowledge of it until days ago. In the hot seat, President Trump's pick for FBI director vows strict independence at his confirmation hearing, why he rejects the president's labeling of the Russia probe as a witch hunt. Cancer breakthrough, the cutting-edge treatment that supercharges a patient's own immune cells. The first child to receive it, now cancer-free for years. Trillion-ton iceberg, one of the biggest ever recorded, breaking away from Antarctica. Is climate change to blame? And taking a mental health day, why so many are applauding one boss's response to something so many workers can relate to. Nightly News begins right now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. We're glad to have you with us tonight. President Trump says this evening he was unaware until recently of the Trump Tower meeting held last year in which his son Donald Jr. hoped to receive dirt on Hillary Clinton from a Russian government attorney. The president defending his eldest son in an interview with Reuters just as exclusive NBC video surfaces of the then real estate magnate celebrating with some of the figures now tied to the latest twist in the Russian controversy. NBC's Peter Alexander has the latest.
Tonight, this video shot exclusively by NBC shows Donald Trump in 2013 attending a birthday party in Moscow for his former business partner, Aris Agalarov, tied to Vladimir Putin. Also there, his son Emin, the Russian pop star who asked a trusted associate during the campaign to set up a meeting with Donald Trump Jr. and a Russian government attorney.
You like Russians.
I like Russians. I like him.
With the White House under siege, the president's now acting as defender-in-chief. Tonight, telling Reuters, I think many people would have held that meeting, arguing he does not fault his son. Earlier today on Twitter, declaring Don Jr. open, transparent, and innocent, calling the Russia investigation the greatest witch hunt in political history, even as the younger Trump acknowledges regrets.
In retrospect, I probably would have done things a little differently. I know more now, but hindsight's always 20/20.
Trump Jr. insisting no meaningful information was exchanged, adding he never told his father about the meeting.
It was such a nothing. There was nothing to tell.
The president's personal lawyer fending off accusations of collusion.
There's no law that has been violated here. There was not a violation of the law here. The meeting that took place is not illegal.
Also tonight, asked if he believed Putin's denial of election meddling, Mr. Trump says something happened and we have to find out what it is, while touting America's improving relationship with Putin.
There are many other cases where getting along can be a very positive thing. But always Putin is going to want Russia, and Trump is going to want the United States, and that's the way it is.
The meeting was an ideal outcome, not for President Trump and America's interests, but for Putin and Russia's interests.
Tonight, President Trump says he didn't know about his son's meeting with that Russian lawyer until a couple of days ago. The president travels overnight to Paris, where he'll meet with the French president, and tomorrow he's scheduled to take reporters' questions. Lester?
All right, Peter Alexander, thank you. After the last head of the FBI was unceremoniously dumped by President Trump, the man the president has chosen to replace him was prodded to publicly declare his independence from the White House at his Senate confirmation hearing today. Chris Wray is widely regarded as well qualified to lead the FBI. Nonetheless, after the messy firing of James Comey amid the Russian influence investigation, Wray faced some unusually pointed questions. Our justice correspondent Pete Williams has details.
Christopher Wray entered the Senate hearing room with one overriding mission: demonstrate his independence from the president who nominated him after firing FBI Director James Comey.
I will never allow the FBI's work to be driven by anything other than the facts, the law, and the impartial pursuit of justice, period, full stop.
He said no one, including Donald Trump, asked him to pledge loyalty, something Comey said the president asked of him.
It got very awkward, and I then said, you'll always have honesty from me.
No one asked me for any kind of loyalty oath at any point during this process, and I sure as heck didn't offer one.
If the president asked you to do something unlawful or unethical, what do you say?
First, I would try to talk him out of it, and if that failed, I would resign.
Ray, age 50, is a former federal prosecutor in Atlanta and then a senior official in the George W. Bush Justice Department at a time when Comey was Deputy Attorney General and his boss. Ray was careful to defend Comey's character, discounting the president's description.
You don't think Director Comey is a nut job, right?
That's never been my experience with him.
Yeah.
But Ray also said Comey was wrong to publicly criticize Hillary Clinton's handling of classified emails when announcing last year that she should not be charged with a crime. Ray said he would make sure Special Counsel Robert Mueller has everything needed to examine Russia's election meddling, despite the president's dim view of that investigation.
I'm asking you, as the future FBI director, do you consider this endeavor a witch hunt?
I do not consider Director Mueller to be on a witch hunt.
And he said he has no reason to doubt that Russia was cyber hacking the election.
Many Senate Democrats say they'll vote to confirm him. So despite the strong opposition to how the president created this job opening, it appears that Christopher Wray will be confirmed by early August with bipartisan support. Lester?
All right, Pete Williams, thank you. Turning now to what's being called a breakthrough in the battle against cancer. Today, an FDA advisory panel unanimously recommended the approval of America's first gene therapy treatment that actually changes a patient's DNA to better fight the disease. A development decades in the making, and it all started with one little girl. NBC's Rahima Ellis has been following her story.
Today's landmark decision started with a young pioneer, Emily Whitehead, now literally the textbook example of this groundbreaking therapy.
Look at this face. This says, I'm happy.
Couldn't be more proud.
We met Emily a year and a half ago at age 10, still cancer-free after being diagnosed with an acute form of leukemia when she was 5.
At one point, the doctor came in and said, you need to call your family in because Emily's not going to be here tomorrow.
But doctors at the University of Pennsylvania and Children's Hospital of Philadelphia developed the CAR T-cell treatment. Emily was the first child in the world to receive it.
She's cancer-free, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a dream.
Here's how it works. From a blood sample, a patient's own immune cells are separated out and then genetically reprogrammed, turning them into super fighters that hunt out and destroy cancer cells. At the FDA hearing today, fighting back tears, Tom Whitehead testified next to Emily.
If you want to see what a cure looks like, she's standing right beside me.
This fall, the full FDA is expected to approve this treatment for relapsing leukemia in children and young adults. It's grueling, but 83% of patients went into remission. The ultimate goal, try it on other cancers.
It's hard for me to even articulate how exciting this is. I mean, everybody has been working toward this for so long.
For Emily Whitehead, today's decision is about hope.
It's kind of exciting because it'll get the treatment to a lot more kids.
A historic step in science, thanks to a brave young girl. Rahima Ellis, NBC News.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? At the bottom of the world tonight, a massive fracture on the continent of Antarctica has caused one of the biggest icebergs on record to break away into the ocean. It's so big it could fill Lake Erie twice over. NBC News national correspondent Miguel Almaguer with the extraordinary details.
Tonight in Antarctica, a titanic shift in our planet's landscape. A massive iceberg, one of the largest in recorded history, has broken away from an ice shelf known as Larsen C. Its size is stunning, a block of ice weighing 1 trillion tons, roughly the size of Delaware.
That crack has finally gone through all the way and formed an iceberg, and that iceberg is now free to move off into the Southern Ocean and to melt.
NASA is tracking it all, surveying the ice and mapping its movement. Though change to ice shelves in the coldest continent on our planet is not unusual, this event is redefining geography. Over the last several years, scientists watched the rift slowly grow, reaching 120 miles in length, a 2,200 square mile chunk of ice breaking away. That separation is called calving. Scientists say for now there is no consensus whether this break is linked to climate change, but say the region is in peril.
Antarctica is losing mass at an alarming rate, and that is a climate warming signal that is much more important than this iceberg.
Tonight, scientists say the iceberg will likely have no direct impact on our lives, but warn this is a snapshot of our changing world. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Closer to home, parts of the upper Midwest are bracing for another night of severe weather. Flash flooding was widespread today with up to 8 feet of water in some places. Some drivers found their cars submerged on flooded roads. And a boy in Indiana died after being swept away in a swollen creek. Air travel was backed up in Detroit and Chicago, where a small plane slid off a runway. Chicago also saw a fantastic display of lightning. The same system caused several tornadoes late yesterday, including one that damaged buildings in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This country's opioid crisis is forcing some to take new and unusual measures. A school district in drug-ravaged Ohio will become the latest to keep a heroin antidote on hand, starting this coming school year. Supporters say it will save lives, but critics are worried about the message they say it sends to kids. Here's NBC's Gabe Gutierrez.
The school board in Akron, Ohio voted 5-1 to equip its middle and high schools with naloxone, the heroin antidote better known by its brand name, Narcan.
It's very heartbreaking to have to talk about putting something like this in our schools, but you do hope that what you're doing is potentially saving a life.
In the last few years, at least 9 states have adopted laws on the use of naloxone in schools. Some require it, others simply encourage it. The maker of Narcan began offering a free carton of the antidote to all U.S. high schools last year. In Ohio, the heart of the nation's heroin epidemic, 29 teenagers died of opioid overdoses in 2016. But not everyone thinks Narcan is the answer.
I've never used Narcan, won't use it till the courts make me.
Richard Jones is the sheriff in Butler County, Ohio. He refuses to allow his deputies to carry the antidote because he believes it encourages drug use.
Narcan's not a cure-all, and I'm not going to have my guys do it.
In Akron, the school board's only no vote said she was worried about the message stocking naloxone would send to kids.
It looks like a Afrin nasal spray.
Only trained resource officers will have access to the doses, which cost $100 and will be stored in secured school health clinics.
Hopefully it's one of the things where it's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
Tonight, as the heroin crisis surges, the debate is raging over how best to protect its youngest potential victims. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News.
There's a lot more to tell you about here this evening. Still ahead, as millions of Americans travel this summer, what one airline is now doing to make sure passengers don't get bumped from their flights and avoid nasty confrontations. Also, the big upset by an American today at Wimbledon, the world's #1 player taken down.
Have you ever looked for a hotel online? Did you notice that there are so many different prices out there for the exact same room? Trivago searches hundreds of websites at the same time and shows you the most popular hotels. You can then easily compare all the hotel rooms that meet your search criteria and find the room that is ideal for you. Remember, Trivago shows you all the different prices for the exact same room. And that's how you can be sure that you find your ideal hotel for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
Only Tylenol Rapid Release Gels have laser-drilled holes. They release medicine fast for fast pain relief. Tylenol.
Steve was born to move. Over the course of 9 days, he walks 26.2 miles. That's a marathon. Because he chooses to walk whenever he can. And he does it with support from Dr. Scholl's. Only Dr. Scholl's has massaging gel insoles that provide all-day comfort to keep him feeling more energized. So he even has the energy to take the long way home. Keep it up, Steve. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
It's something that's always present. You're always thinking about it.
What if my cancer comes back?
I've been working on this therapy for 5 years now, and we're getting ready to go to the clinic.
My son definitely keeps me fighting. I want to be there for him when he needs me.
That's what motivates me. I want to see patients have gray hair.
I see myself growing old with my pink hair.
That, to me, is enough to keep going.
This week, take me back in time. Journey with Today into the air.
So cool!
To discover an underground masterpiece.
Incredible.
To explore the world of a top predator. Into the air, land, and sea. A special series on Today.
Only on NBC. Sunday night with Megyn Kelly. Sharp, strong journalism and the power of NBC News.
You have to tell this story.
Sunday night with Megyn Kelly. Sundays at 7, 6 Central on NBC.
Back now with the summer travel season in full swing, there's a new effort to ease the anger and frustration from airline overbooking. United says it's trying out a new system to cut down on the problems with oversold flights 3 months after the world saw that video of the doctor injured as he was dragged off one of their planes by airport security. NBC's Tom Costello has more.
Please see us at the podium prior to boarding. It's an everyday problem in the airline industry. You show up for a flight that the airline oversold. Now, United Airlines is working on a way to keep you and everyone else happy.
Perfect, thank you.
While still making money. Experimenting with a computer program that IDs oversold flights 5 days in advance, then emails frequent flyers with simple itineraries asking if their plans are flexible. If they're willing, they'll be rebooked and offered compensation. United, meanwhile, could then charge more for the seat.
It's going to help keep down any interruptions on the day of the flight and make everybody happy if it works.
Just last week, United apologized to a mother for giving away a toddler's seat she'd paid $1,000 for, forcing him to sit on her lap. In April, United passenger Dr. David Dow was dragged down the aisle of an oversold plane after refusing to give up his seat.
Oh my God!
CEO Oscar Munoz told Lester Holt United will never again remove a seated passenger, instead offering up to $10,000 to customers willing to be rebooked.
And those two combined is one of the solutions, because it's not just monetary, it's a combination of when can I get to my destination.
Today, passengers said they could be flexible for cash.
If I don't have any prior commitments, then sure, I'd be willing to do it.
I think that's a better idea than letting me get to the airport, then asking me to change my flight.
This pilot program will only be offered to Mileage Plus customers for now, as United looks for oversold flights and flexible customers. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
We're back in a moment with big troubles for one of America's best-known kid stores.
Nick was born to move. Not necessarily after 3 toddlers with boundless energy. But lower back pain won't stop him from keeping up. Because at a Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for our best custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on his feet by reducing shock and stress on his body with every step. So look out, world. Dad's taking charge. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Are you kidding? Introducing the new $15 million summer prize event from Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh my God!
$15 million. And soon it could be yours.
Really?
$15 million ready to be awarded in just weeks.
Shut up!
Watch your mail or go to PCH.com and enter. That's PCH.com.
Wow.
Hurry, don't miss out. August 31st, you could win $15 million. Enter today.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a coop soup.
So beautiful.
Beautiful just like you.
Oh,
And we covered it November 6, 2009. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you, get you, get you, get you one day. Maybe next week, I'm gonna meet you. I'm gonna meet you, I'll meet you. I will drive past your house. And if the lights
If you got a life, you got a Swiffer.